My beloved ones, gather round. Come close and listen, not just with your ears but with your heart. For I have heard a whisper in the wind, and it was God himself who leaned into my soul and said, Tell them, tell my people, why they must be careful in their old age. Yes, child, old age, that golden dusk of life, where the sun does not burn but blesses. It is a season of slowing down, but it is not a season of giving up. No, it is a time of harvest, a time where the seeds you planted in your youth begin to bloom or wither. So you must be careful, for the enemy watches closer now. He waits at the door not for your youth, but for your wisdom. He doesn't want your strength. He wants your legacy. When the sun begins to dip low in the sky, and its golden rays stretch long across the land, when the trees sway slower and the birds sing softer, the soul knows it has entered a holy place called old age. Now, don't let anyone fool you. This is not the place of endings. No, my dear, this is the beginning of a sacred unveiling, the peeling back of all the falsehoods we clung to in our youth. In old age, we do not lose our power. We become power wrapped in silence and wrapped in memory. God said, Child, be careful now, because what you carry is no longer just for you. You carry stories that have kept whole families alive. You carry lessons that could turn a stranger into a survivor. You carry prayers that were whispered in the dark and now echo in the light. That's right, beloved. You carry legacy in your very bones. There is a kind of hush that falls on those who've made it this far. It's not the silence of absence. It is the silence of completion. You have lived through storms, fires, and famines, not just of the land but of the heart. You've held people as they wept and buried them when their time came. You've laughed so hard you forgot your pain, and wept so long you learned to name it. And yet, in this holy season, the world has the nerve to act as though you have been diminished. No, you are not diminished. You are distilled, concentrated, aged like fine wine in the cellar of God's promise. And that is why you must be careful, not because you are brittle, but because you are priceless. This is the age where God begins to speak more gently, but more clearly. He doesn't shout over the noise of ambition and competition anymore. He sits beside you in your quiet, on your porch, in your stillness. He walks with you through the garden, not rushing a thing. And in the gentlest voice, he reminds you of all you've been and all you still are. He says, I've kept you. Not just so you can watch the world change, but so you can bless it as it does. You see, in old age your presence becomes a sanctuary. You are the wise one who doesn't speak much, but when you do, everybody listens. You are the one the young people come back to, when their fast lives turn into broken hearts. You are the anchor in a world blowing wild with uncertainty. So, yes, God said to be careful, because sacred things must be handled with reverence. And you, my darling, are sacred. Be careful how you spend your hours. This is not the time to let the hours slip through your fingers like sand. This is the time to hold each hour like a pearl. To write letters you've been meaning to write. To tell people you love them while you still can. To laugh long and cook slow. To sit in the sunlight and let it kiss your face like a faithful friend. Be careful who you let into your space. The world will try to press into your peace. Some people are drawn to light, not because they want to shine, but because they want to dim it. So guard your peace like a precious flame. Surround yourself with those who speak kindly, who sit with you without rushing, who know the value of your wisdom without needing to be reminded of it. Be careful with your memories. Don't let the sadness steal them. Each one, even the painful ones, is a brick in the house that is your soul. You didn't just live a life, you built it. Every loss taught you something, and every love changed you, and every mistake brought you closer to grace. Gather them like sacred artifacts. Dust them off, smile at them, cry with them. They are proof that you were here. that you are here, that you mattered and still do. Be careful with your body. Yes, it may groan a little more than it used to. The knees ache and the hands don't move like they once did. But oh, what those hands have held! Children, dreams, dying mothers, the good book, trembling lovers, broken hearts. And what those feet have walked through! So walk with pride, however slow. Each step is a psalm in the making. And most of all, be careful with your spirit. The enemy doesn't always come roaring. Sometimes he comes whispering lies to your soul. Lies like, you've outlived your usefulness. Lies like, you're in the way now. But you hold up your hand and say, the devil is a liar. God still breathes in me. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. Heaven still recognizes your name. Let the wind carry your prayers higher now. Let your rest be deeper, your joy be fuller, and your heart be lighter. You've earned every ounce of peace. You've carried the weight of generations. And now it's your turn to sit in the light and be the light. So be careful, not with fear, but with reverence. Treat yourself the way God treats you, with gentleness and awe. Walk through this season with dignity, knowing that your story is not over. God still has pages left to turn. And even when the final chapter comes, the ink will still be wet with glory. Child, you are not at the end. You are at the height. And the view from here, it's divine. There comes a time in every seasoned soul's life when the face in the mirror bears witness to years, both kind and cruel. The eyes, still bright but heavy with memory, hold silent stories of love found and lost, of hopes held close and heartbreaks released with trembling hands. And it is in this sacred twilight of life that God speaks softly but sternly. Be careful who you allow into your presence. You see, baby, when you get older, you don't lose your value. You become a treasure chest. But don't think for a moment that everyone who comes near you is seeking to honor what's inside. Some come not to bless, but to take. Some do not knock on your door to comfort. They come to control, to pick the lock of your trust, to slip into your stillness and rearrange the sacred furniture of your peace. Let me tell you, age does not make you invisible. It makes you magnetic. It draws all manner of people to your light. Some will come like angels, wrapping you in gentleness, warming you with laughter, reminding you that joy doesn't have an expiration date. But others will come cloaked in concern, pretending to care while calculating what they might gain. They'll speak with soft voices but have sharp motives. So listen with your spirit, not just your ears. God said, pay attention not to how they enter, but how they make you feel. Does their presence bring rest, or does it bring confusion? Do they make your soul breathe easier, or does something in you tighten when they draw near? Don't ignore that feeling. It's the Spirit whispering. This one is not sent by me. The enemy is crafty, my love. He knows that in your youth, he had to tempt you with noise, pleasure, pride, and praise. But in your old age, he comes quiet, subtle, sly. He sends people into your life not to tempt your body, but to test your mind, to question your reality, to plant seeds of doubt about who you are and whose you are. So guard your door. You may no longer run with the crowd, but you better learn to choose your company with the discernment of the wise. Invite in those who love you loud and deep. Keep close those who bring light into your home, not darkness. Let your inner circle be small but holy, those who know the value of your presence, and don't treat your time like spare change. Let me speak to the heart of this thing. Loneliness is real, and it is cruel. It tiptoes into your room and lays beside you, not saying a word but weighing down your bones. And in that vulnerable hour, the wrong people look right, the ones who offer quick companionship, who promise to take care of you, may not mean your soul well. God said, don't let loneliness make you careless. It is better to be alone with God than surrounded by people who drain your joy and manipulate your peace. People will come into your life with plans you didn't make, with advice you didn't ask for, and with intentions that smell sweet but rot at the root. Be wise, darling. Ask God before you open the door. Ask God before you sign the paper. Ask God before you say yes, just to feel needed. You have nothing left to prove. You've done your work. Now is the time to protect what God has planted in you. You are not a project. You are not a burden. You are not a forgotten tree bearing dying fruit. You are the last bloom of summer. You are the echo of every prayer your mother prayed. You are the answered cries of generations. And no one has the right to diminish you. Now let me say this gently. Because the truth comes heavy when it's wrapped in love, sometimes the people you need to be careful of are the ones you raised. Yes, I said it. Your own kin, your own blood. Just because they came from your womb or walked beside you through decades, doesn't mean they've come into this season with honor. Some of them will see your slowing steps as weakness. Some will mistake your silence for surrender. But I'm here to remind you, you are still God's beloved, still His vessel, and He has His eye on every single soul who tries to take what's not theirs. Speak up, even if your voice trembles. Set boundaries, even if you feel guilty. This is your season of peace, not pressure. You are not here to be everybody's emergency exit or emotional storage. You are here to live softly, intentionally, freely. To give when you choose, not when you are coerced. To love from abundance, not from depletion. And when the right ones come, because yes, beloved, they will come, you'll feel it. The peace will be unmistakable. They'll sit with you and not need to fill the silence. They'll bring laughter that doesn't sting and conversations that uplift your spirit. They'll serve you without expectation, honor you without flattery, and love you without condition. These are the ones sent by God to walk with you in your golden hour. So be careful, yes. Not because you are fragile, but because you are precious. You have nothing to prove, but everything to preserve. Your wisdom is gold. Your heart is a wellspring. Your presence is a prayer. Don't you give that away to anyone who has not been tested by fire and approved by God. You are in a sacred season. And God, who has been with you from the cradle to the cane, is still guiding your every step. Trust Him, beloved. He will show you who is for you, and who merely appears to be. Walk gently, speak truth, and let your spirit rest in the safety of divine discernment. You are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are not at the mercy of anyone. You are covered. You are chosen. And above all else, you are still becoming. There is a sacred truth that comes with time, a soft truth draped in years and lined with memory. And it is this: even in old age, your words still hold power. Not just the kind of power that moves lips and stirs conversation. No, I'm talking about a deeper power, a holy, eternal, heaven-backed power. The kind of power that builds or breaks, that lifts or levels, that breathes life or seals silence. You see, my dear, when you were young, your words were like the wind, restless, rushing, rarely still. You spoke to be heard, to be seen, to be counted, and that's all right. That's what the young must do. They must stretch their voices across the sky. But now that your hair has turned silver and your walk has slowed, now that your nights are longer and your mornings quieter, your words have settled into their true weight. You may speak less, but oh, when you do, it echoes. Don't you let this world, with its noise and its speed, make you think you've grown irrelevant. Don't let those too busy to listen convince you your voice no longer matters. Because God said, even now, even here, your mouth is still a vessel for my power. And if God said it, child, it's already done. You speak and heaven leans in. You whisper a prayer and angels take flight. You murmur a blessing over your grandchild, and it follows them like a shadow, even when they don't know it. You call on the name of Jesus in your sleep, and it shakes the walls of the enemy. You, with your tired bones and trembling hands, can still shake the foundations of hell with a single word spoken in faith. Let me tell you something plain: your voice is seasoned. It's marinated in mercy. It's soaked in storms. It has known pain and loss and unexplainable joy. It carries authority not because you shout, but because you know. And people listen differently when you've been through the fire and still carry the scent of victory. Even the silence in your speech holds power now. You don't need to fill every room with your voice. Sometimes your silence is the loudest thing in the room. It says, "I've lived enough to know I don't need to argue. I've seen enough to know how this ends. I've prayed enough to know who holds the outcome. But make no mistake, when you do speak, let it be holy. Let it be intentional. Let it be soaked in truth and dipped in grace. The world is listening even when it pretends not to be. Your children, your community, even strangers. They lean in when you speak, because your words carry legacy. Speak life, darling. Speak it over the broken places. Speak it over your home. Speak it into the heart of your sons who've forgotten how to cry. Speak it into your daughters who don't know their worth. Speak it into your own reflection when the weight of years tries to press you down. Say, I am still here. I am still chosen. I am still His. Your words can tear down strongholds. They can resurrect dreams that died in the dark. They can heal wounds that no medicine can touch. Don't waste that power on gossip. Don't waste it on regret. Don't use your precious voice to curse what God still plans to bless. Let your words be seasoned with salt and dripping with honey. Let them be balm to the bruised and the compass to the lost. Speak prayers that light up rooms. Speak scripture with a trembling voice, but an unshakable faith. Speak names of loved ones as if you're handing them straight to the hands of God. Speak thank you, until your whole house hums with gratitude. Speak I forgive you, to the ones who don't deserve it, because freedom isn't for them, it's for you. And when the day comes, and it will, that someone kneels beside your chair and asks, "Tell me, how did you survive?" You tell them the truth. Tell them it was the Lord. Tell them it was grace. Tell them you spoke life over dry bones and they danced again. Tell them you called on the name of Jesus and He showed up every time. Tell them your words weren't perfect, but they were faithful. You see, what you say in this season plants seeds in soil you may never touch. Your words now reach into generations yet unborn. A prayer whispered today might be the reason your great-grandchild finds salvation 50 years from now. So don't hold back. Don't shrink. Don't silence yourself to make others comfortable. You earned the right to speak with power. You earned the right to be heard with reverence. Now let me lean close and say this in loving be mindful. Because your words are power. Yes, but power misuse can wound. Even in old age, you can cut someone down with a sharp tongue. But you can also lift someone up with a kind one. Choose wisely. Speak not from pain, but from purpose. Not from bitterness, but from healing. There is someone right now, somewhere in your orbit, who needs to hear you say, "You're going to be all right." Someone needs to hear, "A God still loves you." Someone needs to hear, "I've been there too and I made it." And maybe, just maybe, you need to hear those words spoken back to you. Speak them, child. Speak them loud and soft in prayer and conversation with tears and laughter. Let your words build bridges across broken places. Let your words be the light someone follows home. Because even now, even in this golden hour of life, even with time pressing gently on your shoulders, your words still carry the voice of God. There comes a time in life, so twilight, when the soul begins to turn inward, not in fear, not in weakness, but in deep reflection. In the golden hush of old age, when the rush and roar of youth has quieted, you begin to understand something the world rarely teaches. You must guard your heart, your mind, and your legacy. Because, my dear, These are the treasures you have gathered. These are the jewels the enemy would love to dim. And these are the offerings you will one day leave behind. The heart, the heart, has been many things in your life. It has been broken, yes, torn, surely, stretched beyond what you thought it could endure. But it has also been brave. It has loved with reckless grace. It has forgiven when forgiveness seemed impossible. It has kept beating through grief, through betrayal, through silence. So now, in your latter days, God whispers gently, guard it. Guard it not because it is weak, but because it is pure. It has been refined by time and tears. It no longer needs to run after validation. It does not beat for applause. It beats in rhythm with the Creator now. And because of that, the world will come knocking, trying to pull your heart in a dozen directions, trying to stir up past hurts, old regrets, old lovers, and old lies. Don't let them in. You have earned your peace. You have walked through the fire and came out not just alive, but anointed. Your heart has become holy ground, and not just anyone should be allowed to dance on it. Be mindful of what you entertain in this sacred season. Not every memory deserves revisiting. Not every sorrow deserves revival. Your heart is not a museum for pain. It is a sanctuary of grace. And oh, how tender the mind becomes in age. How many rooms it holds! Some dusty with forgotten dreams, some glowing with laughter from long ago. The mind of the elder is not slow, it is rich. It is deep, layered, textured like the folds of a quilt made by loving hands. But hear me now, you must guard it too, because the enemy, cunning and cruel, would love to plant doubt in your thoughts. He would love to whisper, "You're too old to matter now." He would love to make you question your own memory, your own sanity, your own worth. He will use confusion, fatigue, even well-meaning voices to pull at your certainty. But you must answer with authority. I still have the mind of Christ. Yes, even now. Keep your mind fed on truth. I read the word even if your eyes blur and the letters swim. Let someone read it to you if need be. Listen to music that reminds you of your roots, your joy, your God. Tell your stories again and again, not because you forget, but because they need remembering. Your mind is not a burden. It is a blessing. Guard it like a precious scroll, passed down through generations, for it holds the wisdom of the road. Now let us speak of legacy, that quiet but thunderous thing. Legacy is not fame. It is not property. It is not how many people remember your name. No, child, legacy is how they remember your love. Legacy is the echo of your choices, the fragrance of your faith, the trail of light you leave behind for others to follow. And that more than anything must be protected. Too many elders fall into the trap of bitterness. They feel forgotten, overlooked, misunderstood, and out of that place they begin to speak poison instead of prophecy. But not you. No, not you. Your legacy is too mighty to be marred by resentment. You didn't come this far to turn your testimony into a complaint. Your legacy is every meal you cooked in love, every prayer you whispered into a dark night, every child you hugged close when the world felt too big, every boundary you set when no one else had the courage. It is in the way you forgive, the way you rise, the way you keep loving, keep hoping, keep believing. Even now, God has placed a divine responsibility on your shoulders. He said, "I've brought you through, not just for your sake, but so others may know the path." That is legacy. So be careful what you pass down. Don't pass down fear. Don't pass down hatred. Don't pass down broken beliefs that chain your family to pain. Instead, pass down freedom. Pass down faith. Pass down the sound of your voice calling on the name of the Lord. If you've made mistakes, and who among us hasn't them, speak on them. Let your children and grandchildren know that even your missteps were wrapped in mercy, that God can make rivers in deserts and bloom in barren places, that your pain was not wasted. It became instruction, that your scars are not shameful. They are sacred maps for those who walk behind you. And listen now, your legacy isn't finished. You are still adding to it every day you wake up and choose joy over regret, peace over pride, love over fear. It is not too late to write new pages, to say the words you held back, to forgive,
to dance, to bless, to live.
So guard your heart, for from it flows the wellspring of life. Guard your mind, for it holds the truths that will outlive your body. And guard your legacy, for it is the altar where future generations will one day light their candles and whisper, "She walked with God." You may be older, beloved, but you are not done. You are a living testament. You are the keeper of holy things. And you must walk carefully with all you've gathered, for what you carry is sacred, and the world still needs it. There is a hush that falls upon the soul in the evening hours of life. It is not silence born of fear or fatigue, but a sacred stillness, one that invites you to listen deeper, to speak less, and to see more. In this holy chapter of age, when your hair has silvered and your bones hum with memory, God speaks differently. Not through thunder, not through fire, but through intuition, through what the old folks called discernment, through that holy knowing in your spirit that says, "This is not for me," or, "Yes, child, this is where I'm meant to be." You see, when you're young, you walk by curiosity. You chase opportunity. You run after excitement. But when you've lived long enough, when you've been both the seeker and the sufferer, the teacher and the student, you begin to walk by something deeper. You begin to walk by wisdom, and wisdom, my dear, is the child of discernment. God said, "I have placed within you a compass." It is not man-made. It is not taught in school. It is not shaped by opinion or popular vote. It is divine. It is the Holy Spirit whispering through your bones, and that whisper will save your life if you listen. Too many precious elders silence their discernment to keep the peace. They override their instincts to avoid offense. They feel the warning signs in their spirit, the tightness in the chest, the heaviness in the room, the sudden chill in their joy. But they smile and say, "It's probably nothing." But baby, let me tell you, it is everything. That small nudge, that inner alarm, that quiet voice saying, "Something ain't right." That is God trying to protect you without shouting. In old age, discernment becomes your fiercest guard. Not because the world stops being dangerous, but because you no longer have time to entertain confusion. You can't afford to welcome trouble dressed in kindness. You don't have the energy to decipher masks and motives. You must know, and know quickly, who is for you and who is simply near you. So you must learn to trust your inner stillness, that holy hush that falls over you when you walk into a room and feel something is off. That pause before you say yes to something that doesn't sit right. That hesitation when someone asks for more than you're comfortable giving. Don't push past it. That is God's mercy. That is your spirit remembering things your mind has forgotten. Discernment is not paranoia. It is preservation. It will tell you when to open your door and when to lock it, when to speak and when to keep silent, when to hold on and when to let go. It is your spiritual eyesight in a world full of illusions. It is your protection when your body slows and your reach shortens. God sharpened your discernment with every betrayal you survived, every loss you endured, every prayer you prayed when no one else saw your tears. But child, discernment is only useful if you honor it. Don't second-guess your spirit because someone questions your decision. Don't let sweet words cloud your sacred wisdom. If something doesn't feel right, that's enough. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your peace. You have earned the right to say, "No thank you," without guilt. You have earned the right to walk away without proving your reason. You have earned the right to trust your knowing. Now hear me well, discernment is not just for danger. It's also for direction. It's how God leads you to the right people, the right prayers, the right places. Sometimes you'll meet someone and your spirit will light up before a word is spoken. You'll feel a peace so full, it makes you weep. That's discernment too. That's the Spirit saying, this one is safe. This one is sent. Pay attention to that joy just as much as the warning. Pay attention to the glow as well as the gloom. And let me tell you, there is discernment in knowing when to rest. Yes, you heard me. When to rest your body. When to rest your thoughts. When to rest from worry, from people, from plans. There is holiness in stepping back and saying, I don't need to fix this. God's got it. That is discernment too. Knowing when to fight and when to fold your hands in surrender. In this season, God is not asking you to work harder. He is asking you to listen better, to trust what He's placed inside you, to follow the gentle pull of His Spirit instead of the pressure of others. You don't have to run anymore. You just have to recognize. Recognize the peace. Recognize the warning. Recognize the presence of God even in the smallest things. The cup of tea that soothes you. The neighbor who prays for you without being asked. The song that stirs your soul. The scripture that feels like it was written just for you. All of this is discernment in action. You are not foolish. You are not slow. You are not paranoid. You are tuned into the frequency of the divine, and that, child, is the gift of aging, the gift of deep knowing, the ability to see past words and straight into motives, the ability to sense when something is off before it touches your peace, the ability to hear the whisper of God even when the world is screaming. So don't dismiss your discernment. Don't dull your senses to make others feel comfortable. Walk boldly in your knowing. Say yes when your spirit leaps, and say no when it grows still. You have walked too long in darkness to now ignore the light within you. You are wise. You are watched over. You are whispered to by the Spirit of the living God. And that voice, that still, small voice inside you, it's telling you the truth. Listen, beloved, it will not lead you astray.